A deep, serious, and mysterious American male voice. Start with the sound of a vintage phone ringing 3 times. Then a low, ominous ambient thriller music fades in. The voiceover should be slow and chilling. 1945. In the small town of Fayetteville, West Virginia, a night of celebration was about to turn into a living nightmare. Meet the Sodders, a family of 11 living their American dream. At 1 a.m., the silence was broken by a mysterious phone call. A wrong number? Or a chilling signal for what was to come.
It's nothing. Go back to sleep.
All right, good night.
George and Jenny Sodder went back to sleep, unaware of the danger. Half an hour later, the smell of smoke filled the entire house.
Fire!
Fire! The staircase was already consumed by hungry orange flames.
Everyone, this way! Hurry!
George, Jenny, and 4 children barely managed to escape outside.
But 5 children were still trapped in the
upstairs bedrooms. George desperately tried to save them, but his ladder was gone.
Wow, look at these gifts. I can't wait to open.
His trucks, which worked fine earlier, suddenly refused to start. He watched in agony as his home burned to the ground in 45 minutes. By dawn, the house was a pile of ash. But where were the bodies? Firefighters found no bones, not a single trace of the 5 children. How can 5 human bodies vanish completely in a house fire? Official reports said they died, but the parents didn't believe it. This is the beginning of America's most haunting cold case. Was it a tragic accident or a cold-blooded kidnapping? Let's dive deep into the evidence that the police ignored. Before the fire, a stranger had threatened George about his business. "Your house will go up in smoke," the man had warned him. Another stranger was seen watching the children coming home from school. On the night of the fire, the phone lines were found neatly cut. Someone had intentionally sabotaged the family's chance to call. The missing ladder was found discarded in a nearby embankment. It seems someone wanted to make sure no one could reach the windows. Even more strange, the Christmas lights stayed on during the fire. This proved the fire wasn't caused by an electrical short circuit. Jenny Sodder conducted her own experiment with animals.
Searching this site for hours.
She burned them for hours, and the bones never fully disappeared. So why were there no remains of her 5 beloved children?
The children burned to death.
Rumors began to swirl that the children were taken by the mafia. George Sodder was an outspoken critic of the Italian dictator Mussolini. Did his political views make his family a target for revenge? A witness claimed to see the children in a car during the fire. Another woman said she served them breakfast at a local diner. They were accompanied by men in a car with Florida plates, she said. The police, however, dismissed these sightings as unreliable. In 1947, the FBI was asked to investigate the mysterious case. But the local authorities refused to cooperate with the federal agents. The Sodders refused to give up and built a massive billboard. It featured the photos of the 5 children and a large reward. For 20 years, thousands of people drove past those haunting faces. Then, in 1968, a mysterious letter arrived in the mail. Inside was a photo of a young man who looked like Louis. On the back, it said, "Louis Sodder, I love brother Frankie." The parents hired a private detective to find the sender in Kentucky, but the detective vanished and was never heard from again. Was this a cruel prank or a genuine sign of life? George Sodder died in 1969, still searching for the truth. Jenny wore black for the rest of her life as a sign of mourning. She turned her garden into a memorial for her missing children. After her death, the billboard was finally taken down, but the mystery was passed down to the youngest daughter, Sylvia. Even today, internet sleuths analyze every detail of that night. Could the children have been brainwashed to forget their past? Or were they sold into a secret human trafficking ring? Some believe the children died in the fire, but the heat was too low. Cremation requires much higher temperatures than a house fire. Why did the fire chief lie about finding a human heart? It was later proven to be a fresh beef liver planted there. The cover-up suggests that something much darker was happening. Was the local government involved in the kidnapping? In a small town, secrets are often buried very deep. The Sodder case remains the ultimate American mystery. No bodies, no death certificates, and no closure for the family. What if they grew up, married, and had families of their own? Imagine living a life never knowing your real identity. Somewhere out there, the descendants of the Sodders might exist. Somewhere out there, the descendants of the Sodders might exist. The house is gone, but the shadows of the children remain. Was the phone call at 1 a.m. meant to check if they were awake? And who was the woman who laughed and hung up the phone? Modern technology still fails to solve this decades-old puzzle. Some say the children were taken to Italy to live with relatives. but no record of their arrival was ever found in any port. The tragedy destroyed a family, but created a legend. True crime fans often visit the site to pay their respects. But for the Sodders, it was never just a story, it was their life. Let's look at the photo from 1968 one more time. Notice the shape of the ears and the hairline. It perfectly matches the young Louis Sodder from the 40s. Why didn't he ever come home if he was still alive? Fear? Or perhaps he didn't remember who his parents were. The mystery of the Sodder children is a hole in history. A puzzle with missing pieces that may never be found. Could a deathbed confession one day solve this case? Until then, we can only wonder about that cold December night. 5 children, 1 fire, and 1,000 unanswered questions. Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty. Their names are etched in the annals of missing person history. The silence of the night still echoes their laughter. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the past. If you have a theory, share it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more historical mysteries. Every share helps keep the memory of these children alive. We will continue to search for the truth, no matter how long it takes. Until next time, keep questioning the world around you. Good night, and may the truth one day come to light.